Grace and peace to you, beloved of St. Luke. This Holy Week will offer us the opportunity to hear two renditions of the Passion of Jesus. On Palm Sunday, we will get Mark's version, and on Good Friday, the Passion according to St. John. And they couldn't be more different. It's almost as if they were depicting two separate people. And yet combined, they make a wonderful, complex, and full picture of Jesus and his passion and what it means for you and for me. The last 2 Wednesdays in our Bible study, Pastor Craig Miller and I have been contrasting these two pictures of Jesus. The one in Mark is the man of sorrows. The one in John is Christus Victor, the victorious one. And in Mark, we get the full body on the cross. We get how horrible this was, how much he suffered. This is a cross made in Ethiopia. But the body on the cross, the death of Jesus. And in Mark, the whole world goes dark the hour that he dies. And Jesus dies in agony, alone and abandoned. We almost don't get the picture of his divinity until after he has died. And the hymns certainly reflect that man of sorrows, that Mark portrait of the one who went into the worst of it and the deepest of it. Jesus, I will ponder now on your holy passion. Let your spirit now endow me for meditation. Grant that love and faith I may the image cherish of your suffering, pain, and death, that I may not perish. Make me see your great distress, anguish, and affliction, bonds and blows and wretchedness, and your crucifixion, and so on. Another hymn which takes up that Markan picture of the suffering man of sorrows is hymn 351. O sacred head, now wounded, with grief and shame weighed down, now scornfully surrounded with thorns, thine only crown. O sacred head, what glory, what bliss till now was thine, yet though despised and gory, I joy to call thee mine. How pale thou art, with anguish, with sore abuse and scorn, and so on. I think, were you there when they crucified our Lord? Is another apt hymn to the man of sorrows. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when you nailed him to a tree? Were you there when they pierced him in his side? Were you there when they laid him in a tomb? On the other hand, John's depiction of Christ is that he was always one with the Father. He knew what he was doing. Often the crucifix is empty. In this one, surrounded by a halo to show that this is really God, the deity. Jesus doesn't die in darkness like in Mark. In the Gospel of John, he dies at high noon. This is his glory. And he's almost regal. No one takes my life from me. I give it. I lay it down. I and the Father are one. And when he says it is finished, it is a cry of triumph. And so on Good Friday, the cross from Holy Trinity will be carried, elevated. Hymns which lift up Christus Victor, Christ the victor, include the hymn, In the Cross of Christ I Glory, hymn number 324. Towering o'er the wrecks of time, all the light of sacred story gathers round its head sublime. And when the sun of bliss is beaming light and love upon my way, from the cross the radiance streaming adds more luster to the day. Or Sing My Tongue, hymn 356. This is Christus Victor. Sing, my tongue, the glorious battle. Tell the triumph far and wide. Tell aloud the wondrous story of the cross, the crucified. Tell how Christ, the world's Redeemer, vanquished death the day he died. And of course, lift high the cross. The love of Christ is another hymn to the Johannine picture of the passion of Jesus, the one who is victorious. This is the one who reigns from the cross. Now there's an interesting icon which helps remind us that we need the whole picture. There could be no Easter without Good Friday. The suffering Jesus went through was real, but he was also God on the cross, and his suffering ends in triumph. And this is the Damiano Cross, which kind of combines the two, the Man of Sorrows and the Christus Victor. This is the cross that is in the Damiano Chapel in Assisi, where Francis was looking at when he received his vision to rebuild Christ's church. And it's more an Eastern icon. It's a painting. But here you do see the body on the cross. This is someone who's suffering. You see the wounds in his hand and his feet. His look on his face is one of discomfort. But you also see him surrounded. He's not abandoned like Mark. It's Jesus. He's not alone. And so there's Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and John. There are other witnesses to his crucifixion. And you see him here, the suffering Christ, the Man of Sorrows, but you see him now emerging from the grave and greeting the heavenly angels above. And then look and see the hand of blessing way at the top. That is God the Father accepting God's sacrifice through Jesus Christ, and as for the salvation of the world. So on Passion Sunday, we'll have Mark's version of Jesus. On Good Friday, we'll contemplate John's version of Jesus. And that will give us a whole beautiful, lush picture of the passion of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. And these words are all we need to complete it, as the children who are receiving First Communion on Palm Sunday will say, for you, given and shed for you. See you in church during Holy Week. God's peace.